Someone needs my help. Piercing the atmosphere, the wind thrashed my ship. The planet looked eerily bare. No signs of intelligent life, just a pale green glow. Now I have to cross the alien plains. A local fauna was there to greet me. I greeted them back. The planet's wide expanse spread out before me, between an ocean and a mountain range. The beacon led me into the mountains. Facing the ascent, I realized I wasn't equipped for this terrain. Slow, I climbed ever higher. I couldn't see much, but the rocks right in front of me. And the creatures trying to kill me. I crossed the mountains and looked beyond them. There, the beacon was coming from deep down in that well. I started climbing down. Staying careful not to become a mess on the planet's floor. The light began to fade as I climbed. The birds kept watching with fateful eyes. I nearly lost my grip a few times. My suit wasn't made for this. Somehow I managed to make it through. I was glad to have the mountains at my back. I took a winding path, down deep into the heart of the vale. The ground became the walls as I went further in. I was deep in the valley now. Creatures stirred from the shadows, but they aren't hostile. They were just watching. scale. I can't get over there. There doesn't seem to be another path. While I was looking, he appeared from the shadows. He was a creature like I'd never seen before, but obviously intelligent. I told him why I was here. He looked pretty happy to see me, even more so as I explained. He acted kinda like he was expecting me. I figured he just wanted us all gone. I was happy to oblige. To help me get there, he calibrated my suit to account for the planet's unique conditions. Now I can travel across the planet with ease. I looked back to thank him, but he was gone. I returned to the porch. I had found the source of a distress call. A few minutes later, I was inside. They cheered when I stepped into the room. All the scientists leaving and hugging each other. I raised my hand in greeting as the head scientist stepped forward. He smiled and thanked me. They've been trapped in here for months. A rogue AI seemed to be the culprit, but it had somehow escaped out into the wild. Let me show you, the head scientist began, but never got to finish. He was cut down from a sudden explosion that tore a hole in the side of the lab. Nightmare beasts poured through the hole the blast had made. They filled the lab and started killing everyone. I took cover to plan a counterattack. But there were too many of them. We have to retreat. One scientist ducked down a side passage, but only a few of us noticed. The blast force separated us from the beast's phenomenon. Only me and two other scientists made it. One of them knew another way out of here. We ran. The tunnel was a maze of corridors and half-constructed back rooms. We tried to get out as fast as we could. The blast door must have given way. We heard the beasts again and they were getting louder. They pursued us relentlessly, but most of us were faster. The way out was in reach. The last stretch was a sprint for our lives. We could hear them behind us. Just one last dash. found ourselves not far from my ship. But it was completely ruined. It won't fly like that. I turned and saw we weren't alone. The creature bowed and told us what he saw. The same beasts from the lab had torn it apart on their way there. He says he can fix it for me, but only if I do something for him too. He told us about her, and how she's running and ruining everything. He says she won't stop until she controls all life on the planet. His people are the last ones to resist her, but the labs are built to keep the natives out. He realized she wasn't in the Valley lab when he saw her beasts attack. I tell him I'll shut her down, one way or another. It's our mess to clean up anyway. There's only one other lab where she could be, deep in the planet's guts. I set my beacon to its location. It was pointing toward the ocean. The scientist stayed behind to help with the repairs. I tell the creature to work fast. This won't take long. I follow the beacon down into the water. A massive temple was at the bottom of the sea. I went inside. I moved through the corridors feeling followed. But there was always nothing there. I turned around a dozen times. I was getting lost. I searched the way forward, but kept finding roadblocks. I reached the end of a dead-end hallway. The cracks on the floor were concerning. Then I heard it, coming from below. Before I could react, the ground crumbled beneath my feet. I fell right into its lair. The beast was fast and hungry. But I knew what to do. Beyond its lair was a small burrow, the only way out. I climbed in. The walls of the tunnel were an unwelcome embrace. But I wriggled deeper all the same. I wonder if it will ever end. Then suddenly it does. I find myself at the mouth of cave. This is the only way forward. The caves glow in an unearthly fashion. I try not to think about what's making those sounds. There is beauty here. And danger. followed the light. Hot, humid, and bright. I didn't expect this. How can it be this way so far underground? Or did I somehow get back up to the surface? I didn't know, but the beacon told me I was getting closer. I dodged the beasts that hunt here, as they tried to make me their meal. Life was thriving. But it wasn't long before the illusion began to crack. This jungle was astroturf. Why did she build this place? Is this where she learned to play with life? The foliage started growing sparse over there. I followed it to the lab. Soon, this would all be over, I thought at the time. I opened the door and stepped inside. She isn't here, but this place has seen better times. It's empty, dead, a cast-off shell. I found the spot where she used to be, but what does that help now? If she's not here, where is she? I searched the database using emergency power. It directs me here for AI maintenance. There's just some goggles and a strange tool of some kind. I pocket them and go back to the screen. I start to look at the security footage when it happens. Alarms blaring, the floor opens up and dumps me into the darkness below. I braced myself for impact. I opened my eyes surrounded by garbage, but I was alive. There were dozens of tunnels in every direction. I picked one and started walking. I met the beast not soon after. He pointed me to a secret tunnel he knew. He said it's the only way out. I have no idea if it's true, but I didn't have any better ideas. A psychotic wonderland was on the other side. I realized too late it was a trap. A world of nonsense, designed to keep me here. Desperate, I looked through my things. Thank God for those goggles. I could see so much, including where she draws her power. I followed her power lines to escape that hell. Beyond is a dead end, except for that giant pit. All the power led here. She had to be down there. Carefully, I started my descent. I nearly lost it a few times. But soon I saw the bottom down below. Looking up, I see how far I've gone already. If the creature hadn't fixed my suit, I'm sure I would have fallen before now. The rocks on this planet are hard to keep a hold of. The last climb was precipitous and difficult. But at last I have made it down. The power led to a massive stone door. Luckily, I'm just able to move it. This is almost over. I followed the lines through the lava. Beasts born in fire try to push me in. I make some of the most careful jumps of my life. The power takes me to that smoking crater. A deep rumbling heralds its appearance. The beast was made of rock, heat, and jade, towering above me, blazing. This would be the fight of my life. He nearly got me once or twice. I made him pay for the trouble. As he sank into the lava, I saw it. The power just ended. Or so it seemed. I felt the wall there and it was soft. A doorway into the hive. I slipped in as quietly as I could. Bugs crawled over every surface, swirling into each other and back again. Were they talking, fighting, forging new friendships? I didn't know, but they were ignoring me, for now at least. I crept along until I was blocked by a tangle of wires. I tried to slip through, but I should have gone around. The wires were connected to the hive somehow. They could feel it through the walls. I was nearly through when a wire snagged my suit. All the bugs stopped, all at once. They were looking right at me now. I ran. I followed the lines as best as I could. But I focused more on not getting even. When they turned, I turned. And then they turned too. I wasn't sure how much longer I could do this. They were gaining fast. Then I saw the final door. Wide open. It closed fast behind me as I slipped inside. There she is. Her. The rogue AI. She towers above me, silent and still. She's the pinnacle of human achievement. But this one's off the rails. I've seen the horror she created. It's time to end it. And her. I I started chipping away at the shell. Her shrapnel fills the air. And still she does nothing. Why? Maybe she couldn't feel it, or maybe the cavalry was already on the way. Doesn't matter. They'll be too late. But I redoubled my efforts anyway. As the last chunks fell, her shell buckled and collapsed. Whatever was alive inside was dead now. She was gone. The power flickered, then went out. The goggles flashed a warning. All the structures she was tapped into were melting down. She built a tomb to bury both of us. Probably knew I would win. Calculated it. So she trapped me in here, while the world falls down on top of us. Locked me in as soon as I walked through the door. And with her death, it will stay locked forever. But she couldn't foresee what these goggles let me see. New lines lead the way. That emergency shaft was my salvation. The jungle was already falling to pieces. I ran for my life. Again. Every island she inhabited was collapsing. Without her to balance and control them, it had all gone sideways fast. I raced through the plains, giving it everything I had. First the exit, it's all or nothing now. Relieved, I saw my ship waiting for me, good as new. I was more than ready to go home. I said goodbye to the creature and helped the scientist aboard. We left them in control their own planet again. I dropped the scientist off on his own world. He thanked me and we went our separate ways. I only have one last thing to do. Find a spot in the deepest reaches of space, where I can fall asleep among the stars. Someone needs my help.